Well, I got some in my mouth.
In your
I got
mouth.
some in my nose.
Hiya, say hi. Hey, welcome back to Farming with Family. Sorry it's been probably at least a couple months since I've posted something, but took a little break off over the summer and had a lot of trips and family events going on. But it is just September 18th, I think, and we are going to get the combine out and get that serviced because I checked one field that's more. It's always more sandy. I planted it first. It got a little bit less rain, got a little bit of hail this summer, and those soybeans are just about ready to go. So I think by middle of next week they should be ready. So we're gonna get this out and get it serviced, and got a few belts to change, but otherwise nothing too major for maintenance wise. So we're gonna start getting this out. So stay tuned. Gonna get it back to life. First key turn of the season for this thing. Snaps right off. Did an oil sample last year. Everything checked out good. Gonna do another one this year. Double check things again. Think I got enough filters to replace. Engine filter, cab filter, inner engine filter, another cab filter, oil filter, water separator. Oh, I still gotta get the fuel filters. Lots of filters for the combine. The engine oil is all warmed up, and on this combine, it's easy to drain it because you just do this valve. Just gotta get it to move. 1 second. Alright, use the pliers to move it. There we go. That's open all the way. Usually crack the dipstick so it can vent. And now it drains all the way down to there. I'll show you the bucket. There we go. It's not the fastest drain, but it's a lot easier than trying to get buckets up way up under there where the motor's tucked in. So we'll let this drain for 10-15 minutes to get it all out. Then we'll do the filter and everything else. Well, I didn't get quite as much done today as I wanted to. I got to quit a little bit early because I have a school fundraiser meeting tonight. But I got a few things done. All 3 of the hydraulic filters changed. Change the oil, change both the fuel filters, put a new drag chain on, or static chain. That static chain just drags along the ground and discharges static like you would think, but it's mainly for not quite so much soybeans and corn. It's more for if you do sunflowers, but grain dust can build up, and if that gets ignited, it can light your combine on fire. But anyways, so I put that on there. I might make it a little bit shorter. The other one was a little bit shorter, but I also wanted to make sure it gets good contact. But I'm gonna pull it forward and close it up for the night. Tomorrow I want to do all the cab air filters and the engine air filters. I think that's mainly what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4 filters left. So that'll be some of the maintenance. Then I also need to change the reverser oil. Take special oil for this header drive reverser or feeder house reverser. And then we'll probably start greasing it up. Since I changed the fuel filters, you got to get some of that air out of the system. I primed the one up by the engine, but the water separator, you also got to get some air out of that. So this one has a fuel pump, so you just turn the key on, let that cycle for a little while. It just builds that pressure, circulates that fuel, and it shouldn't start too rough. And a little surprise, I have a little over half a tank. So that's like an extra 60 gallons that you don't necessarily count on. So it's nice when you turn it on and it's not completely empty. All right, let's give it a start. I cycled it a couple times, so we'll see how it does. Uh-oh. Gotta cycle a little bit more. Ran out of fuel. So I'll cycle it and I'll go back and prime it some more up at the one by the engine, and then we'll try it again. Usually that doesn't happen when I do that method, but I have to cycle a little bit more. All right, here goes try numero dos. I gotta prime some more, I think. So when I'm talking about priming it up here by the engine, there's the filter. Here's my little priming pump. Usually I can hear the fuel going all the way through the system and then going back into the tank for the return. So I haven't quite got there yet, so we'll keep on priming. All right, it is now Tuesday. Getting pretty close to being done with the combine. Did the fuel issue figured out. Just had to keep cracking lines and priming, and I got the air bubble out. But one of the last main things I have to do is change 3 more belts. This main variable speed belt and this 4 red belt right here, which looked up in the book, found it, and it's not too crazy. Loosen this tensioner, loosen this, take out these 2 bolts, and then spread your variable speed cylinder all the way open, so it's got a little more slack in it. But these are the last main things, and then grease and put shields on. Then we'll be getting the head hooked up and getting that gone through. Shouldn't be too much on that, mainly just greasing and oiling. The time has come. Take the combine to the field. Everything's greased, fueled, checked, new belts, new pulleys, got everything serviced that I can find. I'm gonna go give it a try, and hopefully the beans are good.
The rainfall and the storm surge could reach 10 to 15 feet in some areas, which is of course very, very significant.
We are done with the first 65-acre field. Had a couple breakdowns we weren't expecting. There's a piece on the here, I'm gonna dump it, I'll talk some more. So as I was saying, there is a piece on the platform of the header that had there is a bolt, or like a little piece that held up one of the parts that flexes. Well, that broke off and let the head flex down more, and there's like a shiny stainless steel piece that makes a part of the platform where the grain slides across. Well, that started to come out, and I can show you when I go down there. But basically we had to take a bunch of stuff on that part of the platform apart, weld it back up, tack a wear strip back together, and we got it fixed. So now I think we're good to go, and we finished this field. We're going to move to the next field. That is 40 acres. I think that'll be my best field because that was the first one I planted on some of my best land. Got a few extra rains, so we're going to start moving fields. Pulling out of the field. Mark's going to drive the combine home for me. It's about 5 miles. He grew up on a farm, so he knows how to run one of those. So we will make our way home and go to the next field. And here's Mark, combine driver extraordinaire. Well, it's day 2 of not harvesting. We've been having red flag warnings. Friday we did not. Once we got our header fixed, we went out and got started until it got dark. But yesterday, Sunday, and today it's been red flag warning, but it's supposed to die down and stop tonight. So with red flag warnings, if you start a fire and say burns up your field or your neighbor's field, insurance will not cover it. So that is why I play it safe and just hold off for today. It's not even October yet, so it's not like we're getting late into the season or anything. So in the meantime, got the corn header out, got that all serviced. So now when corn is ready, which I think will be right after beans, we will get this out and hook it up and just be ready to go. Well, it's 10:25, I think. Back at it combining, started about 8:15. Loaded my second load. This field seems like it's doing pretty good. Give you a little view if you can see my video cameras, but it's working pretty good. Got my little right-hand man taking a nap. He wanted to come out with Dad for the night, fall asleep in here, so when we go home, we'll put him in his bed. But we're gonna keep combining. It looks like a snowstorm, but it's just soybean dust. The wind is just barely moving and it's kind of hanging right with me going this direction, but then all of a sudden, oh, there's the end of the field. Well, it's 12:20 and we are quitting for the night. It started to get kind of tough and it doesn't want to feed on the platform properly, so combine's starting to growl a little bit. Good time to stop, go get a little bit of sleep. Bonzin's zonked out pretty good. I plugged the feeder house just because didn't really notice that it wasn't feeding evenly, and it plugged it up a little bit, so I had to do a little bit of pulling, but got that unplugged and made one more round. It's like, yeah, it's time to quit. So we'll get out and hit this in the morning, and we should be able to finish this field pretty easily within hour, 2 hours maybe. Yielding pretty good so far. We'll take the one truck I got full to town. The second truck is only half full, so I got a little bit of room to go. That with the grain cart, so we'll get back at it in the morning. We'll see you then. Well, it's the next morning, and we got the 40-acre field done. Now we're moved to the farm where I live. So just getting this field opened up. They seem really nice so far. Wasn't able to make it back around to the truck. As you can see, I got a nice big mound of soybeans back there. So just driving empty. David's up, taking the other semi from the 40 up to town. It sounds like there's going to be lines up there. So just wait for him, but I got this whole semi to work with. And I'm sure by the time he gets back, then we'll be able to get the other semi over here and the grain cart. Then he can start driving for me, because this is the longest part. It's a half-mile field. So it's looking pretty good and everything's working good so far. Well, the kids are off school. Guess who's riding with me? What do you got?
A fancy caterpillar.
Oh. How many is that you've collected for the year? Probably like 8 or 9?
Yeah.
Yep. They keep catching them and putting them in a little container.
Yeah?
and they want to see if it's going to turn into a chrysalis. We'll see.
One time a caterpillar was gonna turn into a chrysalis, but it died.
Oh, that's too bad. We'll try again. We are dumping again. Now I got Vaughn with me. What do you got? Ooh, candy. What do you got?
Kitty.
Ooh, yummy. We're still going. We got this section almost done. Just a little strip right there, and then we'll move on to the longer part of the field. Hope to get this field at least half done today. Somebody needed a nap. Well, we have another red flag warning for a little while this afternoon until 7 o'clock tonight, so we're going to get started. But kind of worked out well because I started this morning and turned on the combine. Something sounded like it was clunking. Well, these little shoe augers, this gear drive wasn't turning. Part of the reason was these bolts, there's a thing that holds it on here, was loose and these had pulled away. But then I discovered that two of the augers were frozen. I went and checked and the bearings were fine, but there's some wood blocks. I'll show you one that I took off. There's these little wood blocks on the very back of the auger shaft, and that's what it spins, and that's kind of like its own bearing. So I got that freed up, put them some new ones. This is one, I found a few that were cracked actually, so I replaced all those. As soon as I took the bolt apart, they just fell apart. So worked out good to catch those and get these fixes done before it's time to go again tonight. So hopefully we'll finish up around my place tonight and maybe move some stuff to the last soybean field tomorrow. But part of the fun is getting in here. These end ones I can get by, I can reach in there. But that middle one, I gotta fit myself in here to get up to there. So gotta think skinny some days, and I barely fit, but it worked. First dump of beans on my last field of soybeans. Did one round and one at the end and got a full bin, so that's not too bad, I would say. But last year, this is my last field where I finished beans, and they were grass green, and it was just a nightmare to get them combined. Then it snowed on them and I had to wait, and yeah, this looks like it's going to be much better luck.